Future Jam.
Welcome to the Future Jam, a tech news podcast for enthusiasts and casual listeners alike. I'm Mike, and I'm here once again with Alex. What's up, buddy?
I am pumped, Mike. Did you see the news on Twitter?
No, there's like news items every day about Twitter. It's a big company.
Not big enough. No, but they just announced that you don't have no more cropping photos. So if you have a long photo or a wide photo, you know how usually you had to click on it if it was too big to see. Now you're going to see the whole photo.
I mean, that comes into usefulness for you because you follow a lot of questionable content on Twitter. So, no more clicking around,
Yeah, my Twitter feed is all porn.
Oh, man. That is weird that stuff is on Twitter. Somebody shared it one time and it just popped up into my feed, and I'm like, this is awkward seeing this on a social media platform because it's not something you would ever see on Facebook or anywhere else. So it's weird that Twitter allows certain things, and then if you post something weird fake news on Twitter, you get banned.
You shouldn't be posting fake news on Twitter or porn. But I mean, also I guess I don't follow a lot of that stuff, so I don't get that stuff. Most of the stuff I follow are comedians.
No, it was just some random guy from that I used to work with. It shows you what people like, and I guess he liked something from a person, and it showed up in my feed, and I'm like, good thing I'm not standing out in public looking at Twitter.
He likes boobs.
But anyways, let's just jump right into it this week. Dumb Tech of the Week. First one up is Apple AirTags. I kind of wanted to bring this up because Apple always has a good way to get you to buy additional accessories for no reason whatsoever. They recently announced the AirTags, and if anybody doesn't know what an AirTag is, it's just a little tiny circular device that could fit in your pocket or pretty much any small area, and it tracks your stuff that you could lose, like your keys. Or yeah, what else would you even put it on besides keys?
I think it's really just for keys.
And the thing doesn't have a keyring hole on it.
Yeah, it could be for your luggage or your purse or something like that. But yeah, the big thing it would be for your keys. Yeah, so all the big tech companies now have this. Samsung has one, but the rest of them all have a keyhole so you can attach to your keyring. Apple does not. Apple is also only a circular one. You can get it engraved with your initials. That's free of charge. Okay. But they run a new one. One of these is $29. They're not out yet, I don't think. I think they're coming out this week or sometime soon. Well,
yeah, the accessory to add a keyring is $29 and up?
No, the AirTag itself is $29.
Okay, so it's double the cost if you want to add a keychain.
Yeah, so a 4-pack is $99.
Okay,
so you have different things. You have the AirTag leather keyring, that's $35. So you would buy that in addition to your AirTag. Okay. You have the leather loop, one that could hold it for $39. The regular loop for $29. And then the Belkin Secure with keyring for $12.95. So yeah, it's just they're selling you this thing. They could easily put a keyhole in it. Decided not to, so they could sell you more. So Marcus, I didn't look up how much the Samsung one was.
They're all about the same price.
Yeah, so they're probably selling it for cheaper maybe than they could, but they're getting you with this stuff to make more money.
Yeah, the reason why we bring this up is because the company iFixit, they actually did a teardown of this device, and they saw that there was actually a spot where you could drill through it and add your own keyhole. For adventurous people out there who don't really care about water resistance or anything like that, that's an option.
Be careful doing that. You don't know what you're drilling into. But the thing is only the size of probably of a quarter, a little bit thicker. They know you're gonna have to put it on something.
Yeah.
And these no way this leather keychain costs $35 to make.
No, I'm sure there's off-brand ones you can get from Amazon for $5 or less.
I don't, probably not right now, but in a month you'll see the off-brand stuff because it's just coming out.
Yeah. But again, what is the purpose of these AirTags in the first place? It's just like another thing for you to buy that's I don't really see a huge benefit or upside to.
Like, the only thing I could see it being used for is your keys is a big one.
I'm sure we're forgetting something. I know they built in things so you can't sneak it into somebody's pocket or sneak it into somebody's like backpack. Because if it leaves the proximity of your iPhone for too long, then it'll start beeping. So somebody would know that it's on their person. So you can't use it for that. You can't put it in your car glove box to track your car because, again, it won't work because it has to be near your iPhone. So it seems like it's pretty limited just for the sake of being not used nefariously.
Yeah, the reviews made it seem like it does good at what it's supposed to do.
It's cool. It's cool that it can tell like where your device. So if it's upstairs, it can tell you, oh, it's above you or below you. So it kind of knows like the exact whereabouts of itself. But it depends, just like all these companies, it depends on the iPhone. So it uses other iPhones to track itself. So the Tile company, that's their competitor, and they've been around for a while, right?
Yeah, that's the big one. Didn't Amazon think about buying them, or they were working with them?
I think they were probably looking to get bought at one point because Apple's been looking to release this AirTag thing for like 2 or 3 years now. So Tile's been like quaking in their boots for 2 or 3 years. But they rely on their own network. So people who have the Tile app on their phone or other Tiles, they rely on each other. So they're already in a predicament because there's tons more iPhones out there than Tile users. So same as Samsung. Samsung relies on Samsung phones. So Apple seems like the only way to go if you want a tracker on an iPhone, at least. But yeah, I just thought it was dumb tech because it's something that logically goes on a keyring and it doesn't have a spot to do that out of the box. And only Apple would design it that way. Let's jump on to the next one. You added this. I guess Pokemon cards and baseball cards and all that are having a huge resurgence. And I have not been paying attention at all. I kind of saw that Pokemon cards were on the rise, but it's not really my field of like excitement area of excitement. But I didn't know it was at this level.
Yeah, so with the pandemic, like there's been a big rise in card collecting. I think people are just bored.
Yeah, it's boredom.
Yeah, can't go out and do stuff. I mean, this is usually something you do as a kid when you can't go out and do stuff and collect cards and things like that. I mean, I collected Pokemon cards. I still have a couple. I think at my parents' house I have pretty much all of mine. But they have these card gradings companies that will rate your card, determine the value and what condition is in. These card grading companies, they're saying they have a wait list of 6 to 10 months because they're receiving like 500,000 cards per week to grade.
So the thing is if there's that many cards that people are looking to sell, how is the value going to be that high?
That's what I don't know. Like, it really can't be, unless you have like a rare original. They said those usually go for the most, but they're saying like the basic Pokemon card is going for like $40, which seems, I just think we're in this collecting mood now as a society with the NFTs and all. Everybody thinks they're going to collect these things and then they're going to make a ton of money later down the line, but really, like, usually stuff that's collectible is stuff that's like rare that people didn't save. And like, with these Pokemon cards now, like, they've had people camping outside of Targets when a new deck has come out. Like last year, you could get these cards at like Ollie's for super cheap. Like,
it's weird how sensations like that just come and go. Like, baseball cards are worth like nothing for a while, and then out of nowhere they come back. And I think people are even collecting like basketball cards and football cards, and those have not been popular for years. Yeah,
my old boss, Chris, he was the old boss still. He was saying he got his son football cards for his birthday because he's really into football. His son's, I think, like 8 or 9. And like he was saying, like how hard it was just to get him that, and his son just wanted to collect them, like to play like as a normal kid. But like, like they've had like people follow delivery trucks and all to get these, and like it can't be worth that. Like, eventually
No.
people have to be like, nah, I don't want to pay for this anymore. And I think when the society, like, reopens all the way, I think you're going to see this stuff crash.
Yeah,
I think
probably.
people have a lot of excess money from not going out anymore, not traveling. And I
If
think
people are bored to death and
Yeah,
excess money.
I think a lot of people that have, like, white collar jobs that didn't lose their jobs because they were able to work from home, and like this pent up demand, and like, I think eventually this stuff is going to crash.
Yeah, do you also think it could be that people are holding on to physical things because everything is digital nowadays, and having this tangible physical nostalgia in their hand is just, it's too tempting?
I think so. I don't
Because
know.
people like having physical things. Like, people like having records because it's physical and it shows, like, this, I love this band. I respect this band. Yeah, so people like having physical things. So there has to be an avenue somewhere for that. And people are just buying pointless Pokemon cards.
Yeah, I think it's just like people have this extra money. It reminds them of their childhood. It makes them happy. Especially in, like, the past year, a lot of people dealt with the depression and things like that, and have gotten into different activities. And I think this is just a new activity. Like the article I was saying, like, somebody bought like a NES video cartridge for like $66,000. Like, people have a ton of money that's to spend on this crap, and they're willing to spend it because it makes them feel good. But I guess
if it makes them happy and it's not hurting anybody, I'd rather people enjoy their lives, but I still think it's dumb.
If it makes you happy, then why the hell are you so sad?
Oh, you're talking about me?
No, it's a Sheryl Crow song.
Oh, okay.
No, I agree with that. Like, it's not hurting anybody. It's just like the astronomical price that this stuff is going for is crazy to me. And I just think, like, this collecting culture has gotten so out of hand. I mean, I had a friend, he went to a Reds game not too long ago, and he got a special edition Funko Pop, and he put it up on eBay the same day, and he got, like, almost $200 for it.
$238 to be exact.
Is that how much you got for it? $238?
Yeah. And I didn't know it had value. I almost gave it to a kid at the game.
When they had, one time I was working, they had the Joey Votto one, and this guy's daughter got one of the gold Joey Votto one. There was only like 500 of them, and some guy came up to him like, "I'll give you $100 for that." He's like, "Yeah, sure."
And the guy had no clue?
Well, no, the guy like knew. He's like, "Yeah, my daughter just took the money." He didn't want the Funko Pop.
Yeah, I've sold them before, like, walking back from the Reds game. Like, some guy in a bar offered me $20 for one. It wasn't like a highly valuable one, but yeah, I don't like having stuff like around my house like that.
No, like, I collect certain ones that I like, but I sold or gave away a lot of the ones that I got from working at the Reds. And I didn't have the room for them. Didn't want to keep, like, there's certain players I just didn't care about.
Yeah. You ready to jump into the Tech News Bites?
Tech News Bites.
So, Kroger begins testing drone deliveries for baby products and s'mores. I don't necessarily like this headline because I think they're going to deliver more things than just baby products and s'mores. But I think this is just like some early fun things they're trying to, release to this. What are they doing? They're testing out like deliveries anywhere you're at. So, like, you could get it delivered to your cell phone location, or, like, say you're camping and you need a delivery of food or baby products or something while you're camping, or even at your house, you can just get something drone delivered to your house. It's an interesting concept, and Walmart's doing it as well. But
yeah, this has always been like the dream, right? That drones are going to deliver your groceries and all. And Kroger's trying it out in a local store in Ohio, and then they're going to try it out in California. But, like, they're doing, like, you can tell they're doing smaller products that they can package easy, because they're doing what they call, like, bundles. They'll have, like, a baby product bundle with formula and wipes. And then they have, like, a s'mores bundle for, like, $5. I can see people doing that. Like, hey, we're having a campfire.
Oh, it's like a cool way to have a campfire where, like, hey guys,
we get the s'mores delivered.
They're coming right now. They're being airdropped right now.
Yeah, and they said it could take as little as 15 minutes.
What's funny is I saw the little command modules, like it's like a little trailer parked in the parking lot, and I assume it's air conditioned because you don't want sweaty pilots. He would want a sweaty pilot. His fingers slip off the controls. But yeah, I guess they have the drone pilots who are FAA approved or whatever inside the trailer flying you the goods.
Well, the one thing I think would be cool is like they could say like over count on meds. So if like you're sick and don't want to go, like I have a bad cold or something, you can get that delivered to you. I think that would be a good thing. Right,
I think there's a lot of cool like aspects around that. Let's jump on to the next one. Microsoft follows Epic's lead and lowers its price cut of PC game sales to 12%. So in the past, when you'd buy a game off of like the Microsoft store on your PC, Microsoft would take a 30% cut off the top. And that's kind of like the industry standard. Like if you buy something on your iPhone, Apple does a 30% cut, Android does. And recently, Epic, who made Fortnite, that's like the biggest game now, they released their own store where you could buy games from all sorts of companies, and they did a 12% cut. And that was kind of like the whole industry stopped and said, are you really going to do this right in front of us? Like, take a 12% cut? And it's kind of changing things, I think, because Microsoft's doing it now. And I guess what they're trying to do is to try to get Steam, which is the biggest company in the PC gaming universe, to lower their cut down to 12%.
Yeah, Steam's like the big dog right now. They do the most business. A lot of people are loyal to them. So like Epic's thing was kind of like, hey, kind of make games for us. You get a lot more money if you sell it through us, and maybe get exclusive games that people are willing to sell on Epic, and it's better for developers that don't make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But also Epic, I feel like they did this to kind of put the money where their mouth is with Apple. Because they are going through like this trial with Apple because Apple charges 30% of all in-game purchases that Apple gets paid for. Mm-hmm. And it's been like a whole big to-do, and Apple pulled Fortnite from its stores and all, and Epic is a big developer that can do this thing, like fight back, and I think that's what they're doing now.
Yeah, they have a lot of money, so they are usually using that money to try to break up the industry and get into different aspects of it. But the funny thing is about the Microsoft thing is nobody buys games from the Microsoft store. And that's what Microsoft's trying to change. Because that's not a thing people really do. It's either Steam, maybe Epic, and then Microsoft's way, way down the list of where you'd want to buy your game.
There you go, Mike. Next topic.
Next one up is Sony invests in Discord, full integration coming to the PS5 and PS4 next year. Discord, I think we've covered this on this show before, but it's basically like a social media platform where you could chat with friends, voice chat, have groups around certain topics or ideas. It's huge among like enthusiasts. So this is really interesting that Sony is partnering with Discord, especially because news last month was that Microsoft wanted to buy Discord themselves, and they denied them.
They were possibly going to buy them for $10 billion. I think Microsoft and PlayStation are seeing they need an online community where people can connect to each other, and that's what Discord does. They do it really well. Sony's, I think, saying that it's a minority investment into Discord. So they're paying like a pretty penny to do this, but they're not buying them outright. So like, they want video games, like you to stay on video games and chat with your friends and family and things like that. So that's what they're trying to do, and this is the easiest way for them, that they don't have to build it out themselves. They already have a professional company coming in that can do it for them.
Well, they tried having on PlayStation 4, they had communities, and I'll tell you this, nobody used the communities feature on the PlayStation 4. It was a ghost town. So smart on Sony for like not putting tons and tons of money to develop something that nobody's going to use again, because they already know people use Discord. And a lot of people will use it for their game chat too. So say you're playing with somebody on Xbox, you guys would all join the Discord voice server. You could talk with each other across platform, and you don't have to worry about the Xbox guy not being able to join the PlayStation chat. So, there's lots of little things you could do with it, but I think it's interesting. It's pretty cool.
All right, next topic.
Yeah, next topic is we talked about deepfake videos on this podcast a lot, where people can fake videos or pictures. One thing we haven't talked about is deepfake satellite imagery. And this is not something I've ever really come to mind or like I've ever thought about, really. And there's a group of people that are trying to show people that it could be a real problem.
Yeah, that's like you. I did not think that this would be a problem, but yeah, like deepfake satellite imagery, like, people can say, like, post pictures and like, oh, these wildfires are hosts or floods or hosts. The military actually released a thing, I think in 2017, saying that how deepfakes could be a problem in the future for them. Because, like, if they're trying to, like, infiltrate something, like, oh, there's supposed to be a bridge here, and they using satellite images to find that information, and it turns out there's not a bridge there, and they can get ambushed and all. And, like, it's actually, like big security threats. It's pretty interesting that you don't think about it.
Yeah, because governments can use it to, like they gave an example, like in China, they had like a work camp, and China could technically say, those satellite images of the work camp are fake, or, doctor them up or whatever. So there's lots of different ways they can, do stuff with these photos. Also, somebody said that this is not something new or different because people have been messing with maps for as long as maps existed.
Yeah, it's not new, but I think the technology is just getting a lot better.
Because you'll trust a satellite picture because that's, as far as you know, that's like the legitimate like area.
Yeah, I didn't think why somebody would waste their time faking a satellite picture.
Yeah, and so I guess these researchers based out of this, I forget what college it is, but they have designed detection software that are able to like find out if a satellite image is fake or not. But the thing is if they don't like keep upgrading the software every month or every so often, they will learn how to beat that software. So it's like one of those things where they have to continuously develop software that finds deep fakes in order to keep on top of it.
Well, that's everything they say with like cybersecurity, is that the criminals are always like 2 steps ahead. As soon as they figure out the one, they're already moving on to the next one.
I just thought it was an interesting story. You want to jump on to the next one?
Yep.
Yeah, broadcasters are moving forward in their case against Locast. Locast is a service you can, in some areas, you can get on your television, and antennas suck. I have antenna, and I can't pick up half the channels, and sometimes it cuts out. And basically what Locast does is it rebroadcasts the signal as through the internet, and you can basically tune in over your Wi-Fi. And how they do this is kind of like a lot of strange wrinkles, and I don't know how they're legally doing it, but they are.
Yeah, they said they're protected by some like copyright law, but they are getting sued by ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox. Like, they're getting sued by all of them.
They're gonna run out of money. There's no way they're gonna have enough money to pay, like, to continue, honestly, in this lawsuit.
Well, because like the big companies are saying like, hey, they're making money off of rebroadcasting what we're broadcasting, and they have like avenues and rights. What they're saying is that Locast doesn't, it's not a subscription. They ask you to give a $5 donation.
Yeah, it's a donation, and it's they're considered a non-profit. So I guess that's the loophole they found.
Yeah, but they interrupt your like use every 15 minutes, and then unless you donate $5, and if you don't donate it, they kick you out, and you have to go back in to find your show. So they make it. It seems like they're trying to get around with charging for this.
Which I don't understand why all these channels don't just broadcast this way in the first place. Because I hate using my antenna. It almost seems like companies don't even want to use antenna broadcasts in the first place.
Well, with like Pluto TV, like CBS has a lot of local news on there, like from like the local affiliates and all. So I think you might see that with Peacock. I think it's doing that too, and Fox might be doing. Like if Fox ever gets in that game, but like you see them move more of the broadcast TV to like the streaming stuff.
All right, you ready to jump on to the next one?
Yep.
All right, this one I found interesting green tech. We usually cover a lot of green tech on here, like windmills and solar panels and such. But what we never really talk about is ways to store power. And basically, you can produce as much power as you want, but if you don't have a good way to store it, if it's not being used, then it all gets wasted. And so what companies are trying to do is you can't have massive, huge batteries because those are expensive and degrade over time. So trying to come up with smart ways to store power. And this is the most interesting one I've seen yet. Basically, when they have excess power, it runs an air pump. And that air pump fills up a giant reservoir, like an air tank. And that air tank originally is filled with water. And as the air goes into the air tank, the water gets pushed out down into caves underground. And then when they need the power, the water pushes the air back out and runs a small little wind generator and produces power back that way. So it's basically a battery, but the battery is air.
Yeah, I don't know if we said the name of the system as the HydroStar system.
Yeah, I didn't say the name of the system. We'll post the article and the video. It's really cool.
Yeah, watch the video. It's interesting. It lost me like halfway through, but it's pretty cool. Like once you understand what they're trying to do, like and this stuff can be self-sufficient and like be able to store energy. Because a lot of companies, like you're seeing Tesla build these big power packs for small towns and all. But this would be a more environmental way to do that. So check out the video.
I think it's really cool. Just whoever thought of this is mind-blowingly smart, and it looks like there's not a lot of like wear and tear areas, so these can run 20, 30 years and they're fine. Like they
it was me who thought of it.
Okay, well then why didn't you know how to explain it better, Alex?
So that came to me in like a fever dream, and I just drew like the paperwork and then passed it off.
I was wondering what that package was in my mail. It was like a big pile of paper, and I didn't know what to do with it, so I used it as fire starter.
And I said, figure this out.
You did. So, let's jump into our main story of the week.
Hey, no, we got one more topic.
Oh!
Yeah, this is the only topic I wanted to talk about today.
Dang.
We're talking candy. We're talking my favorite candy, Skittles.
Oh, yeah, you did message me about this. And I just assume that Skittles, if you, the company, who runs, is it M&M and Mars?
I think, yeah, it's Mars Wrigley, I think is the company now. So
I just assume that they think everybody who eats Skittles are litter bugs, but they've developed... Litter bugs, yeah. They developed a candy package that's biodegradable.
Yeah, it's supposed to be released by 2022. They're teaming with Danamir's Scientific. So they're just using certain oil to create new packaging that's biodegradable.
Woo!
You don't really think about candy, like plastic wrappers, being bad for the environment, but it is a big deal.
So let's place bets, Alex, how long this packaging will last. Because the last time a company made a big announcement like this, Sun Chips, they went back on it because people complained the bag was too loud.
Why was the bag loud?
So I guess Sun Chips, this was like 5-10 years ago, they released a fully biodegradable bag as well, and it was across all their products. And when you open it up, the bag was so loud, like the noise of like moving it around and like opening it up was so loud. People would complain, like every time I get into it, I can't not hear that sound.
Did people like this finally realize that Sun Chips aren't that good? They were like finally like, you know what? These chips aren't that good.
And they're probably embarrassed that they were waking up the whole family in the middle of the night while they're getting into their Sun Chips. But yeah, it hurt their sales big time. So do you think this same thing will happen to Skittles?
No, because Skittles are actually good. So I think they'll be fine.
Well, why is Skittles? Like, why not M&M's? Are the M&M's going to eat through the biodegradable bag or something?
mean, it could be something to do with the chocolate and like the coating on that.
Yeah.
Also, Skittles has like that taste the rainbow thing, so I think they kind of seem more as
Earthy.
environmental. Yeah, because
Yeah.
rainbows.
So you think they'll probably just do it for that first, and then?
Yeah, if it works and all. I
It's probably just honestly, it's probably just cheaper for them to make this bag, and they're chalking it up as like a environmental thing.
If it's cheaper and it works well, like why not? It's a win-win
That's
for
true.
everybody.
As long as it's not paper straws, I'm 100% backing it.
Paper straws are terrible.
They're the worst invention ever. Like, if anybody ever gives me a paper straw, I just give it right back to them and say, I'll drink from the cup directly.
Worse than the nuclear bomb, Mike?
I don't know. I'll have to think about that one for a while. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, but paper straws, like, you really can't let a drink sit. I always thought about getting, like, a metal straw. Like, they have those now. I thought about getting one.
Aren't you afraid you're going to, like, chip a tooth or something on that?
Now I am.
Yeah, it kind of scares me. Like, what if I chomp down too hard on the straw accidentally, or...
Everybody knows when you drink, you go,
I do chew and drink at the same time. It's scary. So you got anything more about the Skittles?
No, everybody go out there and eat Skittles.
They are pretty good. What's your favorite flavor? I kind of like the purple bag, tropical.
I'm just a classic man.
Classic man.
Yeah, that's like I had some earlier tonight.
They're great. They're better when they're a little bit like room temperature. If they're too hard, they're not great.
Yeah, when they're cold, they're not the best, but...
No. In the wintertime, and if you get a bag that's a little bit stale or too cold, yeah, not worth the trouble. So
I feel like also I eat them slow and like I eat like M&Ms and all because you have to chew them. So like they last longer to me than like a bag of M&Ms.
Well, for M&Ms, I suck on them for a while, so that way I get the longevity there.
Yeah, you love sucking for a long time.
Okay. All right. Let's jump on to the stories of the week. Or let's jump onto the story of the week. You're still laughing at your own joke.
You set yourself up for that one.
I did. We've talked about drones, and I think on the sports episode, we talked about how drones are used in like sport, like professional sports a lot, especially for broadcasting and stuff like that. But a recent article came out, and they really shined a light on all these new drone projects coming out, or like that were in the works for fitness. I thought there was some really interesting drones in here.
Yeah, this whole fitness drone thing is interesting to me because I don't see like the personal use ever catching on like the people in this article does.
I love the name of the first one though.
Yeah, the first one that really kind of like started this was the Chagobot.
Oh, it's a great name.
Yeah, so created in 2012 in like Australia.
I didn't realize it was that old either. Like drone, you don't think drones being 2012, like that's pretty far back.
Yeah, at that point I thought people just like megally just driving them, like just flying them around. That's what they were doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a drone that would run with people like 10 feet away from the visual marker that would have been like on the person's shirt, and that's track your running. And some people like used it as like a companion, they were said.
Yeah, it's interesting. They said that they didn't know how people would react to the drone running with them. And I'm a little bit of a runner, and it's nice to have a companion with you to run to kind of like set the speed for you, or to kind of like, you know, it just feels better running with somebody.
Yeah. And
I guess people saw this as a person or a companion, and maybe it helped them go further or faster.
Yeah, I could see it. People be like, okay, let's do this. Like talking to it occasionally and like a little bit more. They said a lot of people like that's like I decided like I would run until the battery died on it,
which is like 30 minutes.
Yeah, so it didn't last long at first.
And this particular model would only go in a straight line as well. So you'd have to be in a place where there's no turns whatsoever. So maybe you could just go back and forth, like at a on a football field or a track. And I think, was this the one that you could only use inside, or was that a different one?
No, I think this was just an outside one, because they're having a inside one is what they want, but that's, I think, it's a long way.
Oh, okay.
Ways.
Yeah, there's another one called the Traverse Drone Concept, and this one's like more recent, like 2020, and it was equipped with like multiple cameras, and it's meant to like collect performance data, and the user would wear like pods on their body and like hung around their neck, and it would like track your posture and your speed and all sorts of things, and it would give you the footage for review later and help you, I guess, get better running posture.
Yeah, so this is like the next big push, and like to perfect your running form. Like, this only has to be for like professional runners, right? Like, the idea, they make it seem like this is just going to be for everybody, like that's their goal. But do you see like a normal person like wanting
No, I don't see a normal person jogging around the neighborhood with a drone. But then again, I didn't think I'd see a normal person wearing an Apple Watch, and people do that too.
Really? You're like shocked by that?
Well, because I thought it was the ugliest piece of tech I've ever seen. Is a square watch that looks like candy. I never thought that would take off, and I was wrong, and I eat my words. But I've always hated it, and I still think it's ugly, but people enjoy it, and it works.
Yeah, coming at the Apple Watch hard today. No, but I think these, like this one, like this is like, yeah, it's supposed to be the future. It's supposed to be like the, like tracking you, because like the person in like the article, like who's designing this, is complaining that a lot of the wearable tech's it's hard to wear, I guess, but like it can monitor like your heart rate and all, and like this would be able to do that somehow. I don't know how. I think that's
it also provides voice feedback as you're going. So I guess it's hard to get feedback as you're in the middle of the exercise. You could always ask somebody like a coach to like do that for you. But if you're an adult and you probably don't have like a coach, you probably would be hard up to find one. But yeah, I just find it to be probably something that's too cumbersome to use for the average person, and like you said, it's probably for elite athletes or people who are like really into the sport and want to try to find out like if they have a good posture or if they have a good stride, or different things about that, because everybody wants to get metrics about how well they do. I could also see this as like a company offering this as a feature, like, hey, come in, run on this track, and we can like help you adjust your form.
Yeah, I can see like because there's like that one shoe store by us. Is that the Running Spot or something like that?
Yeah.
Where they have like groups and all. I can see them like offering that, like, as part of your package, you can do this, and then we'll like help you get your posture better and find the right shoe for you.
Yeah, but I can't see somebody buying this for themselves that much. Another one that I saw was a kind of a branch off here, but this one's more for people with disabilities. And I thought this was an interesting concept. It's a drone that helps a blind person run. And I'm like, I thought about it for a second. I'm like, how do blind people like run safely? And I don't know if there's a good method outside of like using a treadmill. But basically, this is like kind of like a sonar system where the drone flies in front of the blind runner and makes noise so the runner can follow it. Sounds like an accident waiting to happen.
Well, and they said the issue is like you can only have like one of them going at a time.
Like because if you have multiple ones, how many blind people are running in the same spot though? I guess if you have a buddy that's blind, and I guess you both could follow the one drone.
Well, like also like a lot of big issues with these were like just the volume of the drones in general. Where people like wanting them using them at parks and things like that if they're trying to use them. Yeah,
drones are louder than a lot of people, I guess, realize. And once packages start getting delivered and people use them for exercise, which I doubt they will, but this article says they will. But people are going to start getting tired of hearing drones.
I think so, and I think people are already tired of seeing drones in general, like with people that's flying them around their neighborhoods, because everybody's worried about their privacy. I think you wouldn't have like a privacy issue with these because you would see the person running.
Yeah.
But like I don't see it catching on. I can see like some people having these, like people that have to have like the best tech when they exercise and things like that. But like I just don't see this becoming like a thing, because like their goal is like this: every time you go running, you have this with you. So
yeah, did you see that one final one? There was a meditative drone that a company was working on, and
yeah, that was stupid.
It's pretty dumb. Like it somehow like it guides you into meditation, and I don't know how a loud drone would be able to do that particularly well. But they said using a small micro drone, it would complete with a faux flower. I guess a flower would be attached to it. I don't know. And motion capture technology, researchers were able to tie the movements of the drone to hand movement, allowing participants to practice the slow and smooth hand movements that characterize Tai Chi.
Yeah, so it'll tell you if you're going too fast, if you're too jerky and all.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna ever be bought or used or anything like that.
Well, like the big thing with that people are using drones for now is like the team sports. I know it's big in European soccer, these drones, because like it shows you can see the whole field from
and the replays.
Above. Yeah, and like you can see these, and teams are using those.
Oh yeah, and they've been big in like snowboarding or skateboarding, where you could fly. Like there's one that a drone will follow you down the slopes as you ski down the slope. So yeah, they're already used in like extreme sports quite often. That's where they get all the shots. It's really cool, like in racing, where they use them to follow race cars or like get really up close shots of like racing. So those are the uses I think they're meant to be used for, and some of these are just too far fetched.
Yeah, I think the personal use is what I don't see. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean,
that's why I thought this was interesting, because we both think they're wrong, but it'd be surprising in 5 years when tons of people are using these.
Yeah, I just think like, I don't know, we have this idea of like technology that's like happening overnight, but like again, like, do you really see like a lot of people using these in like cities and things like that, or going to the park and everybody just has a drone following them around now?
Yeah, I think people would get tired of it. They'd pass city ordinances that would ban them, and that would be that. All it would take would be one drone crashing into somebody's face and knocking their eyeball out, and that'd be done. It'd be done.
Yeah, I mean, but
there'll be a lawsuit. Somebody gets mangled by a drone, and that's it. That's the end of the fitness drone era. Lasted all about 5 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it for the story today. We have one final segment, and so I know we have Tech RIP, and we don't have that today. We have something different. But the other day we tried to come up with a name for Rebirth Tech, or what was the other names we had?
What was it? Phoenix Tech, Back from the Dead Tech, Reincarnated Tech.
Yeah, so we actually received a voicemail, and I actually like the listeners' idea for the name we could use here. So let me play the voicemail real quick, and then we can get into today's segment.
Hey, Future Jim, it's Patrick, long-time listener, first-time caller. I'm just driving, listening to the most recent episode, and I was thinking Frankentech for like the reincarnated tech of the week, you know? Frankenstein's monsters tag too long. Also, have you guys talked about like technology and the robots just getting sexier and sexier? Because I think that's a really interesting thing that you should talk about. Just robots they just get sexier and sexier. All right, thanks for the great content. I will see you guys next time.
I really like Frankentech, and I really like his second point, because it's something I've been bringing up a lot, and you won't let me talk about the show. Robots are getting sexier and sexier, and they are trying to steal our men and women from us.
I actually almost Googled what's the sexiest robot just to see if I could put that in here, but maybe we'll get down to the bottom of this one.
Well, if you consider RoboCop to be a robot, but he's also half man, I would say RoboCop. If not RoboCop, and then it's R2D2.
Okay. But we don't have Franken-Tech of the Week this week, or Tech RIP. We have a new one, and it's called Tech on LifeSupport. And this is about some old school products that I'm sure a lot of you, old school internet users are familiar with. But AOL and Yahoo have been sold by Verizon for about half of what Verizon paid for them to a company called Apollo Global Management. I don't know who they are, and I don't think it matters because nobody cares about AOL or Yahoo.
They own like the Phoenician in Vegas. Like it seems like an odd move for them. No, but a lot of people still have AOL accounts that they use for their emails. So people still use AOL.
My wife still has an AOL email account.
My parents do. I know a lot of people like that was their first email and just didn't get a new one. But Yahoo, I think Yahoo's news is like the best place if you want like that's a ton of different news. Like I send you articles from Yahoo a lot.
Yeah, you do like Yahoo News, and I kind of like Yahoo.
I think they have the best sports reporting. They report on everybody. I think they have they book a lot of big stories, like a couple like the college scandals. The Yahoo News is like the one that broke their sports team. I think I know people are fair and balanced. Yahoo does give both sides, they post articles about everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like you really getting news from all over, what they post about and all. I just think Yahoo News is great.
I'm pretty sure that Microsoft owned Yahoo for a little bit, and then they sold it to Verizon, and then Verizon tried to turn Yahoo and AOL into the one company under one umbrella called Oath. Do you remember that?
I remember the headlines. I remember it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, they're trying to say, hey, there's this new company called Oath. It's hip. It's cool. So they're trying to rebrand those Yahoo and AOL into a modern hip company. It went nowhere fast.
They realized the name Oath is terrible.
Yeah,
anytime
exactly.
Anytime you hear an oath, it's like, oh, I'm joining a cult.
Yeah, they realized it was terrible. And it immediately went back on it. They announced it, and then I don't remember them ever actually releasing the website or anything like that. But there's a lot of well-known companies underneath this umbrella. Like Engadget, we use them for our tech news a lot. TechCrunch, Yahoo Sports, like you said, is really popular, and people use the Yahoo Fantasy Football app. So
yeah. Yahoo Fantasy is a lot better than ESPN Fantasy.
I would agree with that. And I think under the right management, all this stuff would do really well. But Verizon doesn't know how to do this sort of thing. Verizon is not a good owner of this stuff.
Yahoo needs a good marketing campaign.
Yeah.
Make them fun again and all. Because no, I don't think anybody uses Yahoo for their searches. But it is a good website this to get a lot of good news from. But
yeah, I think they could make a comeback because they were at one point Yahoo was the biggest company as far as tech. People would before Google, people would say I'm gonna Yahoo that, or not. They didn't say I'm gonna Yahoo that, but they would use Yahoo the same way we would use Google now.
Yeah, and then Google came along and. The thing about Google was it was just so simple at first. All it was the search engine, and it was very good. Yahoo had everything else that Google added now, but you're so used to using Google.
Yeah. So second that, but it's just crazy that Verizon bought him for what was it, $9 billion, and basically they're selling it for half that. So Verizon lost out. I doubt they got anything out of it, but that's Tech on LifeSupport. I think we can resuscitate at least Verizon, and AOL I could care less, or is it I couldn't care less?
Yeah, but AOL was a lot of introductions to the internet for a lot of people. They have their place in history.
Yeah,
we owe them.
they filled tons and tons of landfills with worthless CDs. I'll give them that.
We had to get your free hours.
You had to get your free hours. Well, that's the Feature Jam for this week. You can call us at 513-BOT-COLA, just like Pat did. Leave us a message. Give us some segment ideas. Let us know something we got wrong. I'm sure we got a lot wrong in this episode. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at The Future Jam.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Thanks for listening.